one of the most recognized statues in the world, but behind the copper skin and stone pedestal is a story of engineering genius, political statements, and near destruction. Today, on the Big Blue Rock, let's unwrap the stories behind the Statue of Liberty, from its conception to the moments that nearly brought her down. It all started in the 1870s, when French politician Edouard René de la Boulaye had an idea to give the United States a statue, one that would both celebrate a century of American independence while also reinforcing the ideals of liberty shared by both France and America. The design was entrusted to sculptor Frédérich Auguste Bartholdi, but building something this massive required more than artistic vision. It needed engineering genius. And that's where none other than Gustave Eiffel came in. Yes, the same Eiffel from the tower. Together, they created a structure so ambitious it had to be crafted in France, disassembled into 350 pieces, packed into more than 200 wooden crates, and shipped across the Atlantic Ocean on 3 separate vessels. By 1886, 16 years after the idea was born, the statue was finally complete and ready to rise on American soil. Instead of a rigid frame, Eiffel designed a flexible iron skeleton, an innovative idea at the time. It allowed the thin copper skin to sort of float over the structure, expanding and contracting with the weather, almost like a breathing being. This innovation made Liberty one of the first monuments built to move with the elements, not fight against them. A breakthrough that would later influence modern architecture, especially skyscrapers. The statue took only 4 months to be built, mounted on top of a massive granite pedestal as tall as a 15-story building, on what used to be a modest island covered in warehouses and telegraph wires. In no time, Liberty became the towering sentinel of the New York Harbour. But the brilliance of the statue isn't just in its size or engineering, it's in its symbolism. Her crown has 7 spikes, symbolizing the 7 continents and 7 seas. Her torch represents a beacon of progress and hope, lighting the way to freedom. Her tablet bears a date in Roman numerals, July 4th, 1776, the independence of the United States. And at her feet lie broken chains, celebrating the end of slavery and the promise of liberty for all. More than a monument, the statue was conceptualized as a message, a symbol. Now, here's some things most people don't know. The Statue of Liberty is struck by lightning over 600 times every year, which may not come as a surprise, since a statue that's 305 feet tall, isolated on an island and made of metal, is basically a giant lightning rod. Her face is nearly 9 meters tall, as tall as many statues in full. It's said that Bartholdi modeled her serene expression after his own mother, which might be why she looks both majestic and strangely familiar. Since the statue is made of copper, its original color was a warm metallic orange. But after decades of exposure to the elements, it developed a green patina, an oxidation layer that gave the statue the iconic color we know today. Bartholdi originally pitched a similar design to none other than the Egyptian government in the 1860s. He envisioned a giant statue called Egypt bringing light to Asia at the entrance of the Suez Canal, but the idea was rejected for being too expensive. The US government didn't want to pay for the pedestal, so Joseph Pulitzer, yes, that Pulitzer, launched a campaign through his newspaper to raise funds from everyday Americans. Over 120,000 people donated, many giving less than $1, making it one of the first major crowdfunding efforts in US history. And finally, on July 30, 1916, the statue was damaged during World War I, when Germans exploded a shipment of ammunition destined for the Allies near Liberty Island, killing 7 people and hurting hundreds more. The incident was estimated to have caused the modern equivalent of $580 million in damage, being one of the largest artificial non-nuclear explosions in history. Access to the torch of the statue has been closed ever since due to the damage suffered. Over the decades, the Statue of Liberty has come to represent many things: hope, struggle, resilience, contradiction. She was built in the name of liberty, yet raised in a world that often failed to live up to that promise. Shaped by artists, engineers, immigrants, and ordinary people, she stands not as a symbol of perfection, but as a reminder of how ideals are constantly being reshaped by history, for better or for worse. And maybe that's the point. Because liberty, just like the statue itself, is not static. It changes, it reshapes itself. And even when it is attacked, it endures one more day. If you enjoyed this video, you might also like this one here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I catch you on the next one. Have a great day. Bye!